All hail the beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Today's video is a little bit different, and I am doing a feature collaboration with my guy Dan over at the channel Scented Waters. Today's video is going to be a half and half. If you watch half of the video here, and you will check the other half out on his channel. And the video we're talking about, this topic is near and dear to both of our hearts as we enter this fall season and begin to get with some of that colder, cooler weather. Well, at least I do, as he's down in the Miami area and he will be very hot. All jokes aside, man, today's video is going to be the best leather fragrances. Now here's the deal, the fragrance doesn't have to be completely leather based, it just has to have leather listed in the note breakdown. And we're going to give you 5 on this channel, he's going to give you 5 on his, and hopefully you enjoy them. So make sure you check out his video after this one by clicking the link down below. I have his video linked below for you guys to check out, and if you're coming over from Dan's channel, welcome. First up on today's list is a woody leather fragrance that doesn't get a lot of play, but once this fragrance is talked about and you get your nose on it, you're like, yeah, I know what you mean. This fragrance comes from the house of Penhaligons, and this one is Howtty. Now, I've mentioned this fragrance on the channel before, but I haven't gone full review or a really in-depth detail on this fragrance. But what I can tell you about this one here is if you're looking for a leather woody scent, then this fragrance is one for sure. Now this one often gets more of the play for the woodiness that comes off in this fragrance, but you definitely get some leather and oud in the base of this one. Although it's not super strong, this fragrance does have leather in it, and I think this fragrance really is enjoyable. Personally, I find Howtty is this fragrance that is a bit unique, and it's also a head turner. This one doesn't smell like a lot of fragrances out there, so this is one that can garner you compliments, and this one just works. There's something sophisticated, masculine about this fragrance, although this one does lean to a unisex vibe, but I think that woodiness in here, for me personally, is more on a masculine feel. All in all, I think this is a very enjoyable fragrance, and if you're looking to introduce yourself into the house of Penhaligons, this could be a good starting point for you, along with Much Ado the Duke and a host of other fragrances that are there. But a nice leather fragrance from the house of Penhaligons, and wood, as always, Howtty. Now, if you know me, then you know this next fragrance was definitely going to be on this list, and this is actually the first fragrance I ever reviewed on YouTube, and one of my favorite fragrances of all time. This one comes from Tom Ford, and this one is Tom Ford's Tuscan leather. Tom Ford Tuscan leather smelling like a brick. To me, Tom Ford Tuscan leather is this high-end upscale fragrance that has vanilla, you have some leather, you have some suede and saffron in here, and all of those things together just really nestle into a fragrance that stands out and performs in the cooler weather. This fragrance does good on its own, which is one of the reasons that this fragrance has really gotten a lot of love in the pop culture world. There's a ton of references to this fragrance in songs, most notably the one where Drake talked about this fragrance smelling like a brick. The duality there is amazing. This scent here is definitely a top performance scent in my personal opinion. This one stands out. I enjoy the original much more than I do the intense version. So if you're looking for a fragrance that is leather based and has some good nuances to it, still sexy, sophisticated, sensual, and will work for you in that cooler weather, this is definitely one that you should try. Tom Ford's Tuscan leather. Now, I felt this next fragrance may have been cheating a bit, but I had to just call it out for what it is. This scent is a nice fragrance all in all, and it comes in a gold bottle. This one's from the house of Puffin Demoli, and this one is Gold Dolphin. It's Dolph! Alright, this fragrance is really similar to what you would get in a Tuscan leather, but it's different in its sense as well. If you are looking for that leather vibe, creaminess, sensual fragrance, this is definitely one that you can go with. And I think that one of the cool things about this fragrance is this layering capability. Now, I know not everyone has tried this out, but I'm going to put you onto a little game. If you want a fragrance that has some winter in the bottle-esque type of vibe, then I'm going to give you 2 fragrances to try out. And actually, you can kind of do this on 2 of these fragrances here. And the fragrances I'm going to tell you to mix together to give it shot are going to be 3 sprays of Gold Dolphin along with 2 sprays of Puffin Demoli Greenly. Try these 2 together and you're going to get something that is warm, it's inviting, it has this pine tree-ish type of feel when you mix these 2 together that is very reminiscent of Christmas. You can also do that with the Tom Ford Tuscan leather and get very similar vibes, but the vanilla is amped up a bit more there. So it takes a slightly different twist, but it still has that Christmas type of feel that's different than other Christmas fragrances that we traditionally kind of relate back to, i.e. those Burberrys. Solid mixed together. You can try these 2 out and make that a bonus fragrance so you can create your own scent. If you have these 2 fragrances, try it out and let me know your thoughts on those. There we have it, Puffin Demoli Gold Dolphin. This next fragrance is one that has become a staple within my collection, and a lot of you are already up on this scent. It's just that it took me a little bit longer to get this one and really understand what this thing was all about. I recently gave away a bottle of this fragrance within this channel here, and this one is a solid fragrance by the House of Mancera, and this one is Cedric. Okay, now this one has leather, you have oak moss, and some citrus notes in this scent, and along with that, you get this Aventus-esque type of vibe, but it's very different in itself. So if a simple way to kind of say it, you know, it's just very reminiscent to Aventus, but again, very different. It has this smoky nuance to it as well. It really helps this fragrance stand out. And again, with that leather there, man, this one is super dope. This one also has this modern classic feel. You have black currant, you have patchouli, again that citrus-esque vibe, bergamot here. All the key players and staple scents or notes that you need in a top performing fragrance. I won't say you need them in a top performing fragrance, but you also find them in a lot of the top tier fragrances out there. They knew what they were doing with this fragrance, and this one here works. Cedric from the House of Mancera is going down. And the final fragrance on my list today is one that is a blend of, obviously it has leather, you have some rum and some spicy notes here. This one is a fragrance that really performs well in the fall and winter months in my personal opinion. And it is Side Effect from the House of Initio. Another sensual fragrance that is, as they call, Spellbinding. This one has tobacco, it has rum, it has some cinnamon there, and obviously you have that leather note in this fragrance, and all of those things together really perform and come together as a fragrance that really just works in itself. If you're looking for a fragrance that can garner attention, be a bit magnetic, this is a fragrance that I would tell you to try out for sure. It's seductive, warm, confident. Everything that you need in a fall fragrance is within this thing, and it just happens to have leather in this fragrance. So those are 5 top tier leather based fragrances in my personal opinion, as well as a combination that you can try and layer with a fragrance that has leather and one that does not. Again, I think that gives off this nice, fresh, Christmassy vibe that has some depth and dimension to it that I think a lot of you out there will enjoy. Dan, thank you for doing this for me, man. Let me know how you guys feel about Dan's fragrance list. I think these fragrance lists combined really come up with something that's magnificent and powerful. He sent me his list prior to recording it, and I was like, ooh, okay, I see you with the scented waters. All jokes aside, man, Dan, shout out to you, my guy, and shout out to everyone for tuning in today's video. If you have not checked out his video, make sure you click the link down below to do so. And if you're tuning in from Dan's video, I salute you, I salute you, I salute you. Before you get up out of here though, make sure you subscribe, like this video if you was down with it, and before you go, as always, the goddamn bell.